Hello again, it's Nicholas Carroll, your host of the Old Sheet Music Show, and here I am looking at I Heard a Forest Praying, song with words by S.M. Lewis, music by Peter DeRose. And it is priced at 50 cents. This is printed and published by Chappell and Company from New York, of course, and Tin Pan Alley publisher. It does have several advertisements in it I'll look at in a minute, but the piece itself is from 1937. So the two songs of merit, which are featured here, it's a funny way to put it, are The Thief, that is Old Father Time, by Bernard Hamblin, and The Blind Mendicant, also by Bernard Hamblin. And it has some very interesting words. It is set to the Mohammedan angel of death, and it starts off by saying, Allah, I wait till Israel shall come to set me free and bear me to the land of light. It's rather interesting. It's almost like a fundamentalist version, like fundamentalist Christians often talk about being carried off to heaven. It's kind of like, I guess, the Muslim version of that. On the back, we got In the Garden of Tomorrow, but it's spelled tomorrow. And that is by Jesse Deppen. In the Garden of Tomorrow, will the roses be more fair, it asks. And that one is from 1924. So back to the actual piece, I heard a forest praying. The words to this are, I heard a forest praying, the trees were cold and bare. What was the forest saying? Let me repeat their prayer. Trees make a playground for children. Trees hide a lover's lane. Trees have been kind to the old folks. Trees have not lived in vain. Man turned the fields and the forest into a battlefield grim. Man took a tree, an innocent tree, and made a cross for him. I heard a forest praying. I heard the heavens weep, just as the dawn was graying and night went home to sleep. So, kind of got the fundamentalist, old-timey Christian vibe there when it talks about the man took an innocent tree and made a cross for him, but it goes from man turning forest into a battlefield to that, which is kind of a weird pivot all of a sudden. It does have many different sections. When I'm just looking through that, we got about 4 different tempos. We got con moto, then a sostenuto is a dream, which is, I guess, when the trees are praying. Then we got tranquillo, which is us listening to the trees praying. And then appassionato when we get to the cross, and then the awakening on tempo 1. So we got a lot of changes here. So it's a very interesting piece. It's got words, but it's written more like a short piece of program music with different kind of themes. So let's see what it sounds like. as I was replaying that, it kind of struck me again that right before it talks about man being evil and turning the fields of the forest into a battlefield, into a cross, it says that trees have not lived in vain, which is kind of like a weird pivot too, that we just said they didn't live in vain, but then we're just giving examples of bad stuff that trees became. So I don't really get it. I don't know. It seems not super well thought out in that sense, but it's just kind of like to tug at your heartstrings and be like, oh yeah, the cross was made of a tree. Heard a forest praying.